All right, hey there, fashion friends. Welcome back or welcome for the first time. Either way, I'm very happy that you are here with me today.
Like, ride with me if you ride with me, you can slide with me if you feel like. Ride with me if you ride with me, you can slide with me if you feel like.
If you're new here on this channel, we speak to finding our own personal confidence and our own personal style, as well as looking further at the quality of our clothing and building a wardrobe that we absolutely love. So if that sounds good to you, make sure to click that subscribe button. If you do like today's episode, make sure to give me that thumbs up. Yeah, it really helps a girl out. So thank you very much. So what are we talking about on today's episode? We are looking at 7 lessons that changed my style forever. Yes, forever. I think a lot of people assume that because I have this channel, I've always been confident and always will be confident in my own personal style. But that's not to say that I haven't had my struggles as well, have had my down times. So today's episode is really just to sort of communicate the lessons and the realities that I learned or faced over the last few decades of my life. And I think these things have definitely contributed to probably the peak of my personal confidence, which has led to creating this channel. So today's episode is more just to share those lessons with you, my community, with our community, to help others if they are struggling with their own personal confidence in their style, in their outfits. Maybe you don't struggle with personal confidence, but you didn't realize that maybe you yourself have experienced these lessons. But either way, I think it's just a great way for anybody to hopefully either commiserate, maybe get some inspiration from, maybe get some sort of perspective from. And all of these are lessons that I've either learned or am continuing to learn. It's never gonna stop. I'm never gonna, be at this like perfect pinnacle of, personal confidence. Like we will always struggle with that confidence for sure. And I think it's just important to be mindful and always trying to kind of check ourselves and improve. So definitely I'm not perfect when it comes to that personal confidence. So these are just things that I've learned and things that I just continue to challenge myself with. Okay, with that, let's get started. Okay, so lesson number 1, nobody cares. No, nobody cares. Like I said, I worked in the fashion industry for almost a decade. Shockingly enough, that was probably the time of my life where I had the least amount of self-confidence in what I wore every day, for sure. Because I think working for these brands, you start to compare yourself to their style aesthetic. There's so many other people that, are talented and stylish and creative. So you are constantly comparing yourself and constantly overthinking your outfits and your look and your style and everything. It's always up for questioning. Genuinely would worry every single day. It was like a cause for anxiety every morning to figure out like just the right outfit, make sure it was just the right look. I always worried that, am I not wearing the right thing? Did I style this the right way? Am I wearing the right colors? All that sort of. Yeah, it took me a bit to realize everybody else is just as worried about themselves, about their own look, their own styles. They don't care about yours. And obviously to an extent, like if you show up looking like absolute trash, then maybe, people might care a little bit. Maybe your boss would care. It's a harsh reality because I think in a way we want people to care somewhat about what we're wearing. But, and I don't necessarily mean that people don't care about what you're wearing. Like obviously like people care, like people appreciate your look or appreciate your outfit and that kind of thing. I more mean people just don't care to the extent we think they care. And if you're self-conscious about the details, that comes across, and I think people are more noticeable of that versus when you're confident in what you're wearing. That's what people notice. They'll appreciate your outfit because you'll be exuding that confidence. So I think that's more what I started to come around to, is realizing that I don't need to worry so much about these like little sort of insignificant details or insignificant technicalities, I guess is the word I'm looking for. Because I don't think people care about the technicalities is really what I should say more than anything. All right, so lesson number 2 is you can't please everyone. That at the end of the day, if you're trying to dress for everybody, you're trying to dress in a way that everybody's gonna like, you'll never get there. No matter what you do, no matter how you dress, there will always be somebody that doesn't like it. Because obviously everybody's got different preferences, different style aesthetics, different perspectives, different goals for how they dress. If you feel like an outfit is successful based on whether or not everybody approves of it or everybody likes it, then I think you're gonna fail a lot in there. Now I do think there is an element of you can dress to be unnoticed. You could dress in a way that is kind of indifferent, if that makes sense, where nobody really cares one way or the other. They're like, wow, that's an outfit, cool. But I don't think this channel is about that. I think if you're watching this channel, you're not interested in an indifferent look, in a neutral, basic look. I think you're interested in a, elevated style. If you're interested in elevated style, you have to kind of let go of that side of worrying about pleasing everybody. And that for me is actually really difficult and has been difficult over the decades for me because I'm definitely a people pleaser for sure. And so I think there's definitely been moments where I have sort of muted my personal style because of whatever situation I might be in. And I don't want to be too loud or too, out there with my style because I want to please everybody. Now, that has been probably my biggest thing, is letting that go. That has helped with a lot of clarity when it comes to choosing my outfits for different events or different points in the day. Which brings us to lesson number 3. Dressing for others gets you nowhere. One of my favorite anecdotes to share is sort of my epiphany moment when I was working in the fashion industry. Throughout my career, throughout my decade career, I had some ebbs and flows with my style confidence, for sure. Definitely had some insecurities. For a while there, I was ready to kind of move on from the company I was working for at the time. And so I was doing a lot of interviews with a lot of different luxury fashion brands. And so every time I would get an interview, I would research the brand and their aesthetic and their kind of upcoming line and everything. And I would get a new outfit to make sure I was fitting within that sort of style story, within their style aesthetic. And the interviews would go good enough and whatever, but I never got the job. And whether or not it was because I was, maybe trying too hard or not being myself, I don't know. Maybe it was just my experience. I'm not sure. But after a few of these, it started to get a bit frustrating. And I remember I sort of got a little jaded and I had an upcoming interview with a luxury contemporary brand. And their style was very timeless, very clean, classic. And my style was sort of that, but I definitely had a lot of edge as well. So at the time, I had just cut my hair to the Ellie Goulding side shave. I had really, really long hair. And then I had the Ellie Goulding side shave. So when I got this interview, I thought, should I cover up this side shave? Because I could just flop my hair over and cover it up. It might not be fitting with their brand. But then I thought, no, like this is who I am. This is my haircut. I'm not gonna cover this haircut up every day if I get this job. So no, I'm gonna rock it. I'm gonna rock my style, and went into the interview and was myself and confident and this kind of the attitude of like, this is who I am, take it or leave it sort of thing. And lo and behold, I ended up getting the job. I just had a totally different confidence going into that interview. But I think it was definitely all the difference. And so that's when I definitely learned the lesson of when you dress for others, it gets you nowhere. It's the same thing that I speak to when before I was married to my husband and I was in the dating game, it's a sort of a similar thing where a lot of times I would dress not myself for dates. So for if a new date was coming up, I'd get a new outfit and maybe dress a certain way, dress a certain vibe if I thought they were a certain vibe. Yeah, sometimes I would dress in a way that I thought they would want me to dress. And I think that just comes from being young and stupid and insecure as well. And of course, like none of these guys ever worked out. And again, I don't know if that's the reason why, but I think there is like a sense of that insecurity coming across, not being confident in who I am and in my style personally until I met my husband. Again, it's like an epiphany sort of situation. It's makes sense now looking back. Before I met my husband, I had, was super jaded. I had just gotten like my heart broken, and I just remember I was just so didn't want to date anybody for a while. I just was, ugh. And I remember going to this party and I just wore this outfit that was super kind of out there, kind of, unique and different, but I felt good. I loved it. And that night I ended up meeting my husband. And then, on our first date, I ended up wearing this outfit with like these knee-high boots, black leggings, and this oversized men's flannel shirt. And I showed up to the date and he basically started laughing right away when I showed up. And he laughed because he said, I almost bought that same exact shirt to wear on our date tonight. And later he told me like how much he loved that I showed up wearing a men's flannel shirt. It just made sense. I knew I had found my person, somebody that appreciated that sort of unique side of me. Had I ended up with somebody that didn't appreciate that part of me, that would have gotten me nowhere. Lesson number 4 is it's just an outfit. I mean, I love clothes, do not get me wrong. And I do believe that clothes are a personal extension of ourselves. They are a personal expression of ourselves. But at the end of the day, it is just clothes. It is just an outfit. It is not going to change the world. I used to put so much pressure on myself every single day to have an outfit that was just right or was more unique than the other day. And I think when I had that realization of it's just an outfit, it helped me in the sense of not taking myself too seriously and really just seeing it as something that is ever changing and isn't permanent. And that, if you wear this outfit today, you can wear a different outfit tomorrow. Or if you wore this outfit today, you can wear it again tomorrow if you want. No big deal. No problem. Doesn't have to be so serious. It's just an outfit. Lesson number 5, it's like ripping a bandaid off. This one speaks to kind of getting outside of your comfort zone or wearing things that scare you a little bit. I speak to wearing things that make you feel confident, that you're comfortable in, that make you feel like the best version of yourself. But I think if you are somebody that wants to elevate your style, push yourself a little bit further, then there's got to be those times that you step outside of that comfort zone, that you push yourself a little bit out of the comfort zone into a little more scary moment. And I think it's important to remember that, it's like ripping a Band-Aid off. That I think the worst thing is the anticipation. So let's say you're going to an event and you've got this outfit that you're super excited about, might just be a little bit more out of your comfort zone. And so you might get a little bit nervous and think about, do I really want to wear this? Like, what are people going to think? What are people going to say? And we kind of overthink it. Sometimes to a point where we'll bail on the outfit and go with something a little bit more safe. And that's fine too, whatever, it happens. But if we stick with it and push through, we realize that was quick and painless. Push yourself through that kind of scary moment of like maybe the big reveal of your outfit, showing up to the event or whatever it is, maybe showing up to the date, showing up to the interview. And as soon as you arrive, you realize, no big deal. You'll start getting some compliments, you'll start getting comfortable in your skin, and it'll happen. And the painful part was quick and easy, done and done. No big deal. Lesson number 6 is it's not personal. So I think this is a really big one. This is a really big lesson for me, and it's a really big lesson that I continue to learn, or that I continue to remind myself of, because I think just in general, in your day-to-day, or in your day-to-day encounters, or for me, for an example, with this job as making fashion YouTube videos, it definitely is a lesson that you have to remember, that it's not personal. And what I mean by it's not personal is that if somebody doesn't like your outfit, if you're being criticized, if you're being made fun of, whatever it is, being teased, it's not personal. I think because fashion and styles is a very personal thing. I speak to that being that's like a massive premise of my channel, is it's a very personal thing, and it's a personal expression of ourselves. It's a personal way of conveying who we want to be. So I think that is hard because it is so personal to us that it's then hard not to take other people's criticisms or teasing as personal. It's hard not to take things personal. But I think when you sort of let go of that part and realize that it isn't personal, that usually if somebody is criticizing what you're wearing or teasing you what you're wearing, it either comes from a place of love, which a lot of times, like my husband will tease me about the stuff I'm wearing all the time. And it just comes from a place of love, or it comes from a place of somebody's own personal insecurities or own personal deeper issues that you will never know or realize or what. But for the most part, it's not personal. It doesn't have anything necessarily to do with you and what you're wearing. After so many years of these sort of experiences of people judging other people's looks and gossiping about other people's looks, I've definitely been that person. So I think, that was a lesson that I learned, is that I don't like judging other people's stuff, and I don't like taking that approach. Now I like to take the approach of looking at somebody else's outfit that's different to my own personal style aesthetic and appreciating it and finding inspiration in it in whatever form that I can. Or just appreciating that they're doing them, that they're wearing what they want to wear and they're loving life, and that's that. That was definitely a lesson within itself. Now, obviously there's, to a point, if you're being an idiot or a twat or whatever you want to call it, then you might be the cause of it. But if you're just wearing your clothes, you're just wearing your outfit, you're just doing you, and you're just loving life because you're wearing your best self in your clothing, and somebody is critical of that, then that's their own issue, and you don't need to let that bother you. Now, it's easier said than done, trust me, I know, but it's just something to be mindful of. And it definitely helps, again, in that clarity when it comes to finding your own personal style or choosing an outfit for your everyday. And the final lesson, number 7, is wearing what I love has a ripple effect. After most of these lessons that I've learned, I've come to the conclusion that I just want to wear what I love. And I think the lesson that I've learned by wearing what I love definitely has a ripple effect. And a ripple effect not just in my style life, in my clothing life, but also in the rest of my life. I think because clothes are, again, they're very personal, because it's a personal choice that we make. Whether you're somebody that could care less about your style, about your aesthetic, about what your outfit says about you, to somebody that absolutely cares and their whole life is driven by their style and their aesthetic. Wherever you are on that spectrum, it really just comes down to wearing what you love. Because when you wear what you love, it makes you feel like the best version of yourself. And when you feel the best version of yourself, you feel very confident in yourself. And when you feel very confident in yourself, you then feel confident in the decisions you're making within your life. And obviously, there's a range of different, decisions in life that are more complex and non-complex. But I do think that, confidence is the root of a lot of progression and growth within your life. And I think it can very easily start with clothes. And so I think that's been a big thing for me, is coming to realize that I really struggled when I had my son with the sort of self-identity. Like, I felt like my identity had been lost for some reason. For me, that was a big struggle, because I was very much, my identity up until that point had been, this kind of creative identity that I was working in the fashion industry, and then I was a freelance videographer, and having my son was the best thing that ever happened to me, for sure. But I definitely, lost a little bit of myself as well. And there's nothing wrong with that. And I think it's up to me and ourselves to not let ourselves be lost in whatever moment or point in life we're in. I realized that I can be a mom, for sure. I can still be a mom and still be myself and still have the sense of self. And what really helped me with that was my own personal style, was my outfits, was my clothes. Getting up every day and choosing an outfit that I felt really good in reminded me that I'm not just this person or that person or this, this career or this title. I am Emily Wheatley. It's what keeps me connected with all my selves, I suppose, is what it comes down to. So not to get all metaphoric on you, but like a small little pebble that gets thrown into the big pond and has a massive ripple effect throughout that pond, I think that a really good outfit, an outfit that makes you feel like the best version of yourself, then thrown into the vast world that is life, can have a massive ripple effect on that life. I think either way, you can't go wrong with loving your outfits, loving your clothes, and loving yourself. Then that's just me. All right, my fellow fashion friends, that is it for today. Those are the 7 lessons that have changed my style forever. If you liked today's episode, you know what to do. Give me that thumbs up, comment below, share with your friends, subscribe, and click that little bell to get notified when I post my new episodes twice a week. You have a beautiful rest of your day. Stay healthy, stay safe, love and support each other, and we will definitely be chatting soon. Bye.